In this video, I thought I'd take you on a little journey with me as I explore ways to get dark mode within the WordPress block editor. So for the last several years, working with light mode has been more and more of a struggle for me. And it's finally got to the point where I don't want to do it anymore if I don't absolutely have to. So I work in the block editor a lot, writing content, and I really need it to be dark mode because it's becoming an unpleasant experience. It's nothing to do with the WordPress block editor. It's literally any interface that I'm using that's light mode. I struggle with these days. It's not just hard on my eyes. It's like sometimes I miss certain elements, which I'm going to show you in this video, specifically links. Okay. All right. So we're going to go on a journey. I'm going to show you the problem I'm having. Maybe you're having it too. And then we're going to look at some possible solutions. There may not even be any out there, but we'll see. All right. So let's go over to, first, let's just recap. Do some little bit of background. WordPress is at the latest version, 6.9 just dropped. We're using the latest 2025 WordPress default theme. That is updated as well. We have no plugins. All right. So this is just vanilla WordPress out of the box. We go to a post. I created one called dark mode, and I pre-filled it with long form content. So I do a lot of long form content. And as you scroll down through here, this is already super painful on my eyes personally. So it's a problem. Okay. But as you scroll down through here, it's this lorem ipsum text. But what I've done is I've thrown some links in there, and I've already just scrolling here. I can't see them. I forgot where they are. So, which is a good thing because I don't want to remember. Here you go. Here's a link right there. And I asked about this on X Twitter the other day. The ability to find links on a page is something I'd be super interested in. Or the ability just to style these links and make them pop off the screen. Maybe they're highlighted, whatever. I'd be open to either of those solutions. So what I'm left with now is killing two birds with one stone. I want dark mode just because I want it. And two, I think maybe dark mode would help with those links. So let's go ahead and check it out. So with WordPress, I wish this was in core. I think that would be super, super cool. If there was I could just go up here and flip a toggle and the entire back end of WordPress is dark mode, or have even more granular options to where, maybe you just want the WordPress dashboard dark mode, or you just want the block editor dark mode. Some solutions out there, they say that they target the block editor, but what they do is they just target this top bar area and the sidebar area and some other areas, making it dark mode. But this content area, with a lot of solutions, it still stays light mode, and it's tough to get around. So I'm assuming that the way the content area of the WordPress block editor is coded, there's something to do with must be difficult to override or whatever the case may be. But let's go ahead and explore some options. All right, so let's go over to our plugins, and we're just going to load some of these up. Dusky dark mode, when I did a search in the WordPress repo, let's go ahead and actually pull that up too. So we're going to go to extend. We're going to go to plugins. I'm going to do a search for dark mode. What this is going to find in most cases is front end dark mode. That's what a lot of people search for, is how to make the front end of my site dark mode. So when I did that search, the first one that came up in the list was this WP dark mode. Do I have that going here? I do. It's down here. So that's by WP pool. What else do we have? Yeah. Then there's this Dracula. So let's go ahead and just start pulling some of these other ones in. All right. Let's go ahead and do this one. Dark mode for better. Okay, let's go there. What else comes up? Dark my site. So you notice that one of the other issues with WordPress is, this is just a side tangent. If you go to actual WP.org into the repo like we are here, the results are different than what you see when you're here in your dashboard. Okay, so that's, if you're wondering why I have that other screen pulled up, that's why. Okay, all right, so dark my site. Dark mode toggle, bring dark mode toggle switch to your WordPress website. See, this is another thing. If you guys out there are, building these products, it'd be great if you're very specific about what this stuff does. Even on this little blurb right here, we'll call it an excerpt. Bring a dark mode toggle switch to your WordPress website. Is that front end? Is that back end? Is it both? That would really, really help, because I don't really know what I'm installing here. I have to click in there to find out, and I may not use your plugin because I don't know what exactly it's going to be doing. All right, then we have dark LUP. But going back to that plugin, let's go ahead and install this. Going back to this plugin though, I'm not saying these others are doing that either. It's just the way that this particular one is written, it's so vague. But over here, like a dark LUP, your WordPress ally for dark mode, dark themes in night mode. So, I guess to be fair, that's not good either. But let's just go ahead. We'll pull some of these in. We're going to go really fast through these. I don't want to spend too much time. We're just going to find out really quickly if they work for what I need. The other thing too that's broken, that's another side tangent that's broken in the WordPress repository, is tag. Like, there should be, like, if you could tag, like I do on Influence WP, there's tags. Like, what, if we go over there, if I can do it, WordPress.org can do it. Come over here, you go to plugins. You could do under topic, you could do like dark mode. Like that, right? You could get even more granular. You could say front end dark mode, back end dark mode. But if I can do it on Influence WP, you can do it on WordPress.org. So let's go dark mode toggle. All right, that's that one. All right, maybe we stop there. Let me see what else we've got. Dark looks. There's a lot. All right, let's just do one more. We'll go just dark looks. All right, I have all of those. Dark reader. Let's go ahead and go with that. We'll go dark reader. That's a new one. This is another problem with search. There's so many issues I have with the WordPress repo. Dark looks. So I literally typed in dark looks and it doesn't come up. So got to go in this, grab the entire plugin name and plop that in. There we go. Install. All right, let's go ahead and let's run through these. We'll go top to bottom. We'll go really quick. The only thing I'm looking for here is to turn this content area into dark mode of the WordPress block editor. Okay, we turn that on. Just do a refresh over here. Nope. Let's go to settings. So it talks about a toggle on the front end. Not seeing anything in here about the block editor. It's all seems to be front end. Okay. Let's go dark reader. Refresh our post. Nope. Go over to settings. All right. So we got to toggle that on. It seems like you would have dark mode. If you're installing a dark mode plugin, shouldn't dark mode already be enabled? I would think. Let's go ahead and refresh. There we go. Maybe they want you to tweak it before you actually turn it on. So I guess there could be a good argument for that. So that didn't work. Toggle button. I'm assuming this is all for the front end, and it is. Yeah, nothing for the back end. All right, let's toggle that off. Let's go darkify. Refresh our post. Nope. Let's go over to, all right, front end dark mode is enabled, default dark mode. See how this one already has it enabled? So it's interesting how some choose to enable and some don't. This all looks to be admin panel dark mode. All right, let's try that. Block editor dark mode. Interesting. Let's save our changes. Refresh our post. Nope. This is what I found back in the day when I was testing these. What they're claiming doesn't. I've never got it to work. Okay, let's turn this off. I thought I saw a demo. Maybe it was under here. Here we go. I would probably bring this demo out. I wouldn't hide this under a tooltip, in my opinion. But let's go ahead and click on live demo. And this is not a live demo. This is just a link to the website. Yeah, that's not a demo. Okay, let's go ahead and get out of that. So from what I can see, unless I'm missing it, which it shouldn't be that difficult, it's not working. Block editor dark mode. Turn it on to show dark mode. To show a dark mode switch. If you enabled that, why wouldn't you just enable, like, make it happen? Let's go here. Where is our switch? Dark mode. It's up here. I'm not seeing a switch. See the word dark mode, and that's it. Wait, there we go. So that's the view. Yeah, I don't understand that at all. All right, that's not what I'm looking for. That is not what I'm looking for. Okay, deactivate that. All right, let's go to dark looks. Let's go refresh our post. Nothing. Are there settings for this plugin? Yep, dark looks, settings, front end. Looking for the back end, looking for the back end. I'm just gonna keep doing a search here for, let's do editor. Switch image to, yeah, this all looks like front end stuff. So no good there. Let's go to darklup. Refresh our post. Nope. Settings. Enable dashboard dark mode. There we go. Let's toggle that on. Turn on to enable dark mode in the admin dashboard. Still don't know if that's going to be the block editor or not. Let's save our settings. Fresh. Nope. What is this dark mode up here? All right, let's go back here to Get Pro. All right, let's just stick with the free versions because that'll just take too much time. Let's stick with the free versions of these plugins. I'm going to disable this. I'm going to see if that dark mode tag goes away that you see up here in the right-hand corner in the sidebar. It doesn't. So where? Oh, I'm in total brain fart. Let me change the name of this post because that's confusing me. Let's go just dark. Let's just go dark test. There we go. We'll go dark mode test. There we go. How about that? That was confusing me. I was like, is that coming from something else? There we go. So that makes sense now. So that other plugin that said there was a toggle, then there definitely was no toggle. because I couldn't see it there. Okay. All right, let's go plugins again. Dark My Site. Nope. Let's go to Dark My Site. Admin dark mode. Enable admin panel dark mode and show dark mode plugin in settings menu. Okay, we'll go ahead and turn that on. We see a toggle up here in the top right. I'm going to click on that. Okay, so that's got us dark mode. Let's go over to our post. So this is what I was talking about earlier. It often targets this side panel and this top bar up here, but it doesn't touch the block editor or the content area. All right. Let's go to Dracula dark mode. Default dark mode. This is all front end. It's all front end. Oh, I take that back. I take that back. All right, let's do that again. Let's go back over here. Plugins. Dracula dark mode. All right, refresh our post. Back to light mode. We go over here. We simply toggle on Dracula dark mode without configuring any settings. That's what it works. That's awesome. Okay. One thing here I don't like while we're here, this ad. Please don't put ads like that in the block editor anywhere. Please don't do that. So that's enough to turn me on to maybe not use this, but I'm so desperate for dark mode in the block editor that I may just have to overlook that. I'm not even sure, like, how do you close the ad? I don't see a way to even close the ad. Okay, please don't do that. All right, clicking on this icon up here at the top switches us back to light mode. There we go. This is a free plugin, so I understand needing to get people to go to your paid versions. There has to be a different way than this right here. Okay, so back to the issue. One of the issues at hand is the link. So I'm scrolling down through here, and I'm again long form content, links. So here it is again. It's still, even though it's dark mode, it's hard. It's easy to miss that. So if we go over to our settings here, there's not going to be anything in here, I'm pretty sure, about links. All right, so that is what that is. Let's go back to our plugins. Okay, so Dracula dark mode. I'm going to have to remember that one. I'm not sure how I'm going to remember that. Let's do this. Let's go Dracula dark mode. Let's duplicate this tab. I'll just make it kind of like a checklist. There we go. And let's go dusky dark mode. Dashboard dark mode is enabled by default with a block editor dark mode. See, I love it when they're specifically mentioning it. That gives me a lot of hope. Save our changes, refresh our post. Okay, not dark mode. Let's go back over here. Dark mode is on. Block editor dark mode is on. All right, let's go there. Let's go there. Maybe we have to turn a toggle on. So we did that, and let's refresh post. I'm not seeing a toggle. Oh wait, down here in the bottom right. There we go. Again, not targeting the content area. Alrighty. What's next? Do we have any more? WP dark mode. All right, are there any settings in here? Let's go to the Gutenberg tab. All right, let's go to settings. How about that? Let's go to settings. Here we go. Front end, we need the back end. So let's go admin panel, dark mode, enable, block editor, dark mode. Okay, that is enabled. Let's toggle that off and back on just to be sure. Save changes. Okay, let's test our post. All right, I see an icon up here to toggle that on. Let's go default, dark mode. There we go. Okay, so we have dark mode. In the content area as well, let's scroll down. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Without having to write CSS, do another plugin, whatever the case, I can now see my links. Beautiful. That's exactly what I was looking for. Now, this is the free plugin. You either get the default that comes with WordPress, or you get their free the free version of this plugin. Looks like it has a limited set of dark mode styles, but if you want to go pro, you can do that. But this is awesome. This is exactly what I'm looking for. All right, so let's go down here. Let's check that box, and a couple more, and I'll get you out of here. Beautiful. All right. So that's the winner in the clubhouse right now. That's what I'm going to be going with. That plugin is by WP Pool. So if you're interested, go check that out. Thank you, WP Pool, for actually doing what it says on the tin. All right, next up, I have a lot of familiarity with these plugins, but it's been a minute since I've used them. So let's go UiPress Pro here. And let's go to, I need to refresh. I think it's under Tools. No, Settings. Maybe I need the free version as well. And like I said, oh yeah, here we go. It has been a while. So let's go install that one. Actually, let's just do this. Plugins, add new. We're going to try it. We'll try it with free first and see where that gets us. All right, so let's go down here. Let's deactivate Pro. Let's try just with the light version. Settings, UiPress, site settings. Typically, you can search UiPress. Maybe that's under the Pro version. Like I said, it's been a minute. Site logo dark mode. Where is dark mode? I know it's either in Pro or free. I just can't remember which. Theme. Admin theme. Yes. Colors. No, that's not it. Let's do a search here in the documentation. Let's go dark mode. General settings, theme settings, dark mode. Admin modernization feature. All right, let's go to settings here. So it's under theme settings. Dark mode, magic dark mode. How do I get there? Auto apply. Let's go. Look, let's go. I think it's in Pro. Let's go turn on Pro. I may have to license this up. But let's go ahead and search through the settings here. Theme. Yeah, I can't find dark mode with this. Easy enough. So fail there, in my opinion. It should be a little easier to find. So let's go ahead and close some of this stuff down. Sorry, I'm just trying to get back. Here we go. All right, so let's go to plugins. Let's get rid of both of these. Now, everything with UiPress is just a side tangent here again, is UI Express is where everything's going. Everything's being merged from UiPress Pro and Lite over to UI Express. So I think this is more of a fair look. So with UI Express toggled on, just toggled on, it automatically goes to dark mode. Let's go down here to UI Express. And let's go to, I've actually never used UI Express. I've just used UiPress Pro. But I do know that one of the hallmarks of this solution is the search across settings, which I think all plugins that have a lot of settings should have this. So let's just do a search for dark. All right, so that's under, we'll start with general and see if we can find it in there. Nope, let's go to theme. All right, so we need a license key. Let me do that real quick. Okay, we are licensed up. Let's go now back to the theme and let's look for dark mode. Force global theme. When enabled, the light dark toggle removed. Okay. Let's go to general. Dang. Try this again. Dark. That's a dark mode logo, but we don't have dark. I guess dark mode is already enabled by default. So that's probably just a brain fart on my part. I just kind of wanted to see where you could switch. Oh, here we go. That's where it is. Okay. All right, so let's go. Let's check this out. Posts. As you can see, it completely modernizes the WordPress dashboard. That's another benefit of UI Express. Let's go into our dark mode test post. All right. Does not seem to be working in the block editor. I'm not sure that it's even supposed to. I don't think that they talk about that as a feature. It's just more of an admin dashboard thing. So there may be more solutions out there. We've tried in this video. We've tried them. So there's two clear winners, and they're both free. Obviously, the pro version is going to give you more stuff. Dracula dark mode works, but the problem is, for me personally, is that you still can't see the links very easily. And then with WP dark mode by WP pool, it just works. Everything works as I need it to work. So let's go plugins. Where is UI? There we go. All right. So nothing is installed, or sorry, nothing is activated. One more time. WP dark mode, posts. It targets the content area of the block editor, and I can easily see my links. So this plugin is the only one so far that I've found, and it's totally free, that does what I was hoping for. So if you're like me and you're struggling with the light mode, it like just hurts your eyes, and yeah, this is one option out there. So takeaways here for me, I wish WordPress core had this built in. That's first and foremost. That way you don't have to worry about additional plugins. Make it granular so you can decide, are we going to start working with the front end and toggling it on dark mode, the admin dashboard, all the way down to maybe you just want the content editor. I mean, make it granular if you can. But I would just having the option in WordPress core, I think, would be huge. Plugins, if you're gonna talk about what you're providing with dark mode, be very explicit in what you're targeting and you're able to target. Is it just the front end? Is it the front end and the back end? If it's the back end, can you also get to the WordPress content area of the block editor? And I don't use classic editor anymore, but or the classic editor. It's some of these plugins, it wasn't clear what was what, how to turn stuff on, where the toggle should appear, what you should expect. It was kind of like you should just assume that you know what you're doing. But as we saw with this plugin, this plugin by WP Pool, it just worked. Just worked. All right. That's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it and it helped. And I'll see you all in the next one.